Hey everybody, this is Millie Holmes. I'm with DC Nightlife and I'm here with the incomparable attorney Ben Crump. How are you, sir?
Thank you. Thank you so much for covering this event tonight.
We are here at the Transformed to Make a Difference event at the historical AME Ebenezer Church, and I'm just honored to be here.
Yeah, I am very honored to be here at the historic Ebenezer AME Church here in Fort Washington, Maryland, especially on the cusp of the November 6th midterm elections, working with their men's conference series, Transform to Make a Difference, as well as their social conscious ministries. I think it's a credit to Pastor Browning's leadership to have this panel. I'm going to be with one of the vanguards in civil rights over the last decades, maybe 3 decades. I don't want to date her, but she is an incredible, riveting figure in the field of civil rights. For years, she headed up the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights. Now she's with the Transformational Leadership, and that is Barbara Unwine, and she's going to be on the panel talking about voter suppression and voter disenfranchisement, and talking about making a difference and an impact in your community and transforming pain to power. We're going to have Michael Brown's mother, Leslie McSpadden. As you all remember, Michael Brown, Hands Up, Don't Shoot, in Ferguson, Missouri, killed in broad daylight. His mother, Leslie, is running for the city council in Ferguson, Missouri, and she will now be making policy when she's elected and supervising the same police department that killed her son. And boy, you talking about a legacy. That will be the legacy for Michael Brown.
I just don't know what to say after that. That's amazing, because I was in Ferguson and I met them, and they were amazing, the mothers of the movement. Got a off the subject kind of question. Kanye West. 2 or 3 words. What did you see it?
I did.
Awful. Speechless,
as attorney Chris O'Neill, one of my partners, and I discussed earlier. When a person who is an admitted person who have mental issues, it's very sad to see that he can be manipulated in such a way, at worst or at best, that he needs to be on medication, because with the things he was saying, especially about black men and black leadership in the black community, was just asinine on every level.
So upset.
And it is just sad that this particular president would give him an audience and not give an audience to leaders like Barbara Unwine or Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, NAACP leadership. That's what we have to speak to. I think it's intentional that they would want somebody like a Kanye West meeting with him and say this is representative of black America, when many of us know that that is not accurate, that is not true.
I got you. Now, I'm a social media buff. You're everywhere, so you're like my celebrity. You're everywhere with evidence of innocence. How is that going? I absolutely adore this show. It's amazing.
Well, Evidence of Innocence is a show on TV1 about wrongfully incarcerated individuals that have been exonerated by clear and convincing evidence and DNA evidence. The Innocence Project documents that there are over 100,000 people sitting in American prisons who are completely innocent, who didn't do anything at all. And Emmett, they say most of them look like you or I. They are people of color, and we're trying to expose this miscarriage of justice. And the reason we're doing it is because when you look at Law and Order and you look at forensic files, all those things, the police are always right, the prosecutors are always right, and the little poor people of color are always wrong, always guilty. So we got to try to change the paradigm in people's minds of that narrative and say they don't always get it right. you can believe that your family member, your loved one, is innocent, that they didn't do it.
Right.
And that's why we have this show that goes through all the ways they got it wrong. So
Right.
we have to stand up for our loved ones, and we have to believe in our loved ones, because in Florida, my home state, 1 out of every 3 black men will be convicted of a felony. And I think that is intentional by the system. That is not that these black men are so bad or nefarious or criminal minded. It's just that the system is broken, or at worst or at best it's intentional, and they are trying to make all of us be part of the prison industrial complex.
I always love talking to you. I just feel so empowered. This show is absolutely amazing. I encourage everybody to watch. This is the storytelling,
Yes, ma'am.
and the honesty of that. So,
Well, you ain't, wait till you hear Bob Unwind tonight.
oh wow, that's going to be amazing. So with that, what you just said, it reminds me of an article I just wrote about Corey Lewis. Do you know who he is?
I do.
Of course you do. I was waiting to see your face next to him, but
it's kind of sad in so
I
many
just
ways.
could not believe that happened.
Yeah. And we could have gotten a call. Hurricane Michael has interrupted all our
Right. I'm surprised you didn't get a call, because
operations.
he's a mentor, and he was mentoring some kids, and he was babysitting, I guess, for the white parents, and he did it all on Facebook. I said bravo to Facebook, because they kept that running, and so they'll be giving you a call. I'll wait to see that.
Well, it reminds me, I'm representing Botham John, who was killed in Dallas, Texas, along with some great lawyers, Attorney Lee Merritt and Attorney Darrell Washington, in Dallas, Texas. And that was the young man who was in his apartment, had every legal right to be there, and this white policewoman comes in the apartment, allegedly the wrong apartment, and then she shoots and kills him, and she's trying to suggest that it was self-defense, even though she came in the wrong apartment. And so my comments to that matter, when you really think about it, black people in America get killed by police, the people who are supposed to protect and serve them, in the most arbitrary ways.
Yes.
I mean, driving while black people in our cars, they kill us. Philando Castile. Walking while black, while we're in our neighborhoods, a la Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. And now we have to deal with living while black with Botham John, and he's just in his apartment. And I mean, this is an outstanding young man. He has graduated top of his class. He's a certified public accountant. He has no criminal history whatsoever. He's working for one of the big 3 accounting firms, PricewaterhouseCoopers. I mean, he's the best we have to offer. But this white policewoman can kill him in his own apartment and go home and sleep in her bed for 3 nights before she's even arrested. I mean, can you imagine if it was the other way around and Botham John went into her apartment mistakenly and killed her?
It would be back to slavery days, I feel like.
And so when I think of Corey Lewis, when I think of Botham John, you know, the common denominator is they see black as criminal. And that's why we got to use these platforms. I'm working on a show with Netflix now. We have to use these platforms to talk about what Thurgood Marshall said. We have to make the Constitution apply to every American and give due process of the law to every citizen, no matter whether you're a little black child born to an uneducated, inarticulate, impoverished mother. You have the same exact rights as a white baby born to the most affluent, educated, articulate white mother, just by virtue of you being born here in America. And that's the fight. It's that simple. That is the fight.
Right. I know you said you have something with Netflix, so this will be my last question, because I know you got to moderate. What else do you have coming up? What can we expect from you now?
Well,
so much. Do we have time?
we're fighting on in the courtrooms and outside the courtrooms to affect minds and hearts of Americans. And I'm following the example of my personal hero, Thurgood Marshall.
Okay.
And I think Thurgood always took cases that not only impacted that particular individual, but impacted larger society.
Okay.
And so in working with Hollywood, it's just a vehicle to get more of this social justice revolution to the people to know that they have rights. And so we were on Black Lightning, a television show.
Oh, I love the show. That's my favorite show.
All the high school children watching it and everything. I got so many texts, and I dated myself a little bit because when they first called me, I didn't know about Black Light, so I went and asked my little cousins and nieces and nephews, and they all knew about Black Light.
They did.
So
Black superheroes. I knew about it immediately.
And doing some stuff with Tyler Perry and others, just to try to use this influence and these blessings that God gave us to help the least of these. I'm following people like Barbara Anwan's example.
Love for one, yes. Thank you so much for just speaking with me this evening. I know you're going to be busy, so I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for always covering these matters. DC nightlife is incredible. They always have covered issues that are relevant to our community, our children, and our futures. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night, guys.